You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, GH fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we've got Nikolas Cassadine back in town, and he's staying for a little while longer. And remember, he's never met his young son, Ace Cassadine. That, of course, is long overdue, but I do also wonder if Nikolas makes a move to snatch that kid and run based on some upcoming spoilers for the ABC soap opera. Let's talk about the spoilers and what's ahead for the Cassadines, but please click subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's dig in. So on Friday, January 12th, in the closing moments of the show, we had Nikolas Cassadine, who was supposed to be grabbing up his little brother Ace and heading to the courthouse for Esme Prince's arraignment on the breaking and entering charges related to her whole escapade at Windermere. He promised her he'd be there with the kid, but he's delayed and then distracted when his dad, Nikolas Cassadine, shows up at the door. It has been a little less than a year since Nikolas saw Spencer. If you don't recall, Nikolas missed Britt Westbourne's memorial service, and that rubbed Spencer the wrong way. And like immediately after the memorial, there was a big showdown between Spencer and Nikolas in front of Laura. And Spencer told Nikolas that he was going to pursue taking custody of his little brother or sister as soon as they were born. You may recall Ava and Spencer were conspiring back then, and she had shown him the confession video that Nikolas recorded where he confessed to trying to hurt Esme Prince. He didn't really do it, but it was a gesture to like prove his love to Ava, and then she twisted it around and used it against him. And Nick was enraged that they were working together against him. And that's when he threatened to take Avery from Ava, and she conked him in the head and left him for dead in a closet. So since then, mostly he's been presumed to have run off to avoid prosecution for holding Esme prisoner at Windermere. So it's been a couple of weeks shy of a year when Nikolas turns up at the door to Laura's place and Spencer's jaw drops. And it seems like Nikolas Cassadine is there for a couple of reasons. He wants to try and bury the hatchet with his oldest son and also meet his youngest son. But Spencer's not exactly going to roll out the welcome mat for his wayward papa. So according to brand new GH spoilers, Nikolas knows Spencer is going to grill him about where he's been for the past year. You know, his little son Ace is about to turn 1 and he's never seen him. Unless they change his birth date for some reason, the kid was born late February 2023. You may recall that Nikolas basically told Spencer during that last bitter argument last February that he's not his son anymore. So now Nikolas is back trying to mend fences as best he can. But the spoilers we've also seen from the episode say he's planning to skip out of Port Chuck before he faces arrest for keeping pregnant Esme captive in the tower. So he's kind of got to fly under the radar to some extent. And he also knows he's got to man up and let Spencer vent to him about his actions if he's got any chance of reconciling with his firstborn son. That's what the official spoilers say also. And Nikolas knows that Ace, is or was living at Laura's. I mean, last he heard. So that's the other reason, of course, that he's at the door. He wants to lay eyes on the baby he made with evil Esme. But in the end, spoilers say if Nikolas can't work it out with Spencer, well, he's got another son and he can just try again with this new one. Not that kids should be considered interchangeable, but in Nikolas's mind, he's got an heir and a spare. But there's a lot that Nikolas doesn't know that Spencer does. First of all, Spencer's taken Nikolas's place in Ace's life pretty much since the kid was born. He was being a surrogate daddy to Ace until Trina Robinson made him stop. And I do think he misses his daily involvement with raising Ace, but there's more than that. Spencer's very certain that Esme's memories are back. He hasn't told anybody yet. So right now, as far as Nikolas and everybody else knows, Esme's still amnesiac. She told her mom, Heather Weber, who encouraged her to keep playing memory loss victim. But in the PCPD interrogation room the other day, Esme messed up big. She called her ex-boyfriend Spence, and literally no one else has ever called him that, and amnesiac Esme wouldn't know it. that was like, whoa, a bombshell went off and Spencer realized it. So Spencer knows evil Esme is back to herself. That has him worried. And now his neglectful dad is there asking about Ace. There's a bunch of spoilers this week that have me really excited about this storyline. So after his chat with Nikolas on Monday, Spencer is concerned on Tuesday, January 16th, and vows to protect his little brother. So I think at this point, Spencer assumes that Esme and Nikolas both are bad influences on baby Ace, and he does not want that for his little brother. But the problem is Spencer's got a huge obligation on his calendar. He's supposed to be leaving for Paris with Trina, who's got a semester abroad at the Sorbonne, and he plans to go, but how can he? Also, actor Nikolas Chavez is supposedly, well, he's definitely filming his Netflix series where he's playing one of the Menendez brothers in season 2 of Monster for Netflix. He's already off filming that, so he's going to have a hiatus. And so the question is when, where, how, considering all this front burner stuff going on with them. So maybe he had the chance to film ahead, but I still feel like we're going to have a gap for him. And I felt like this Paris Sorbonne story was partly to cover for that. So anyway, on Tuesday, Esme hears from Trina about their plans to go to Paris. And of course, that may stun her, but she may also think it's a good thing for Spencer to be away while she tries to cover up that she's gotten her memories back, but she may also be jealous. We'll see. Wednesday spoilers have Esme in a panic, and Thursday spoilers say she goes to someone surprising for help. Could it be Nikolas? I don't know. Because by Friday, spoilers say she's desperate. So I don't know if it's her desperation to avoid jail time for the B&E. I still kind of feel like those charges might get dropped or lessened to the point she won't serve time. You know, Laura can always lean on DA Scorpio to cut her a break as a personal favor. And then on Friday, we have Spencer coming clean to Laura. I'm certain if he hasn't already by then, he will tell her Nikolas is in town and came by to see him. And I definitely think he's going to tell her that he thinks Esme's memories are back. So I have to wonder, in the wake of all this, if Nikolas is going to kidnap his son Ace to get the kid away from Esme. I mean, it's not like Nikolas can stay in Port Charles without facing criminal charges. And Esme, ironically, can't consent to dropping the charges unless her memory is back. Because in this matter, she's basically considered incompetent. If she supposedly can't remember the event, then she can't say that she wants to drop the charges. You know what I mean? It's messy soap amnesia crap. So Nikolas already told Ava he planned to leave town now that she's sending Esme to jail for a year for the B&E. But if Esme does skate on that and Nikolas, of course, doesn't want to stick around and risk jail himself, taking his baby boy and running seems like something he would do. And then he can always come back later. They can source the kid to an older age, typical soap stuff. Nikolas, though, isn't leaving quite yet. Adam Huss has more to unpack in coming scenes, but I don't think he's staying long term. I do love Nikolas as a character, and I think the more that I see Adam in the role, the more I'll adjust to him in the role. But for now, I think this is going to be a shorter arc. Maybe he sticks around till February sweeps. We'll see. I just feel like he wants to get his hands on Ace, but no one's going to willingly hand the kid over to him to keep, right? Or would even trust him with that kid. So you never know. Esme might cut a deal with him for the three to leave together. Maybe that's who she turns to in desperation. That way, she and Nick can both avoid prison. They both can spend time with Ace. I mean, that'd be a pretty soapy outcome to all this. And then they can come back to town later. We'll just wait and see. I feel like there's very good things happening on this storyline. We'll see how it goes. But I feel like we've got a very big Cassadine-esque twist ahead, and I'm very excited for it, and I hope you are too. Definitely drop your comments. Do you think Nick is going to take Ace and try to run? Or maybe he and Esme are both going to run with the kid? Let me know what you think. Please click subscribe if you haven't already. And definitely come back soon because we're here talking General Hospital 7 days a week. And as always, I'm your host, Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.